Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Danny and today it's time for a book haul. It's been a minute since I have done a book haul, so I am excited to show you guys what I've purchased since then. I do know that there are a couple of these books that you guys have seen me talk about in videos because I have purchased them for different projects, but I just haven't put them in an official haul, so I wanted to post them here just in case you guys haven't seen the videos that they were featured in. I have 8 books for you guys today. Some of them I've read before, some of them are new to me, and so I wanted to share with you guys what books I have decided to add to my collection. The first, which is the book that was featured in my Read Until I Get a 5-Star series, is The Book of Doors, which I am really excited to add to my collection. I absolutely love this book. If you haven't heard me talk about it, or if you haven't watched that series, just a brief synopsis. You follow our main character, whose name is Cassie. She works in a bookshop, and a patron who is an elderly gentleman who comes to visit pretty much every day in the bookshop ends up passing away in the bookshop and leaves her the Book of Doors. This book allows her to travel through any door to any location that she wants, and it is kind of a dream in that sense. And so she goes exploring, but she doesn't realize that in the midst of this amazing thing that she's been gifted, she's also stepping into a nefarious world that she doesn't realize existed. It was beautifully written. It's a debut author. If it sounds interesting to you, please give it a try. I absolutely love this book. Next is another book that was featured in that 5-star series, which is In the Labyrinth of Drakes, which is the 4th book in the Lady Trent series. And I also have bought Within the Sanctuary of Wings, which is the 5th book in that series as well. I absolutely love these covers. I think they're stunning. And I'm really excited because I have rounded out my collection. I now have the entire series of the Memoirs of Lady Trent. So that's why I purchased these. I have read In the Labyrinth of Drakes, rated at 5 stars. I have not read the 5th book in the series. This will be the final book for me, and I am excited to get to it whenever I deem fit to read it. If you haven't heard me talk about this series, you follow Lady Trent. So it is written in a memoir style. She is telling you of her adventures as she became one of the world-renowned dragon studiers in a world that deemed it inappropriate for a woman to study such things. So she goes around to all these different locations in the world to study all the different species of dragons. While she's doing that, she gets to know the different cultures of the people who live with these dragons day in and day out. It's such a cozy read, but she is cantankerous and just a spitfire. She's not afraid to offend people, but she does have to adapt to certain situations and certain cultures that she's not acclimated to. And it's a really fun series, and it's such a nostalgic series for me. So I'm really happy to have collected all of the books. Next is Malice and also Valor. So I didn't purchase the entire series yet. I have read Malice. I haven't gotten to Valor yet. I plan on picking them up as I read them. So I am excited to have the first 2 books in this series. I have talked about Malice recently in my highs and lows for May and June. It is a very chunky series that has a lot going on, but it does feature 2 main characters. One is a boy that is kind of coming of age, becoming a man, being tested in his village to kind of become like a soldier and a knight. And you see some things going on within the world that definitely show there are things afoot that are ominous, and specifically things dealing with the gods of the past. And so you know that there's something bigger going on with his character. You're not sure what. There is an animal companion with his character. You also follow the son of the king of the entire country, I guess. The kingdom is split into little areas which each have their own king, but then there is a larger king above all of them, and you follow his son, and he is forming a war band to prepare for these ominous events. And you get to kind of see how all of the events transpire. There are a ton of characters in these books. It's one of the reasons I absolutely loved it, but I did struggle reading Malice just through audio, so I am glad that I will have Valor whenever I do decide to pick this book up, or this series up again, which I want to do sooner rather than later so I don't forget the characters that I've learned. Next is one of my newer purchases, which is The Crown Tower. This is my top book for the first half of the year. This book features Hadrian and Royce, which are two characters that I got to know very well in the Rhaegar Revelations, which is the original series that they're in. This is a prequel series called the Rhaegar Chronicles, where you get to see their origin story. So these two men in the Rhaegar Revelations, you get to see them. They are essentially contract workers, and they are hired to steal something in the very, very beginning of the storyline. And the item that they're stealing gets them into a bit of trouble with the kingdom. It gets them really ingrained into the kingdom politics, which they really don't want to be. And you get to see these two men. It's a brotherhood story. It's rough and gruff men who have to go through all of these trials and tribulations together, and the only people they can rely on are like their found family, which I absolutely love. And this is the origin story for how those two men became like a pair in the second series, or I guess the original series. But I absolutely love this. This is a series, so this is number 1 in the series, and I didn't purchase the rest of them. I will, but you know, to try and be financially responsible, I couldn't buy all of them at once, but I do plan on buying them as I go through the series. I have read the second one, so I've read this one and the second one, but I haven't bought the second one yet. I will. They will all be added to my collection eventually. Next, we have the Goddess of the River. This was, out of all of these, this is my only impulse buy. This was 25% off whenever I found it, and this is also interesting. It's a hardback with deckled edges, which is, so is the Book of Doors that I showed you guys earlier, which is weird because the Book of Doors, whenever I got that, I thought that was just an unusual combination, and here's another new release that has that hardback with deckled edges. So interesting. I purchased this because of the author Vaishnavi Patel, who is the author of Kakai, which I absolutely loved, and I need to also buy at some point in time. But Kakai is an Indian mythology, I believe, and a retelling of the story of Kakai, and it's supposed to be, I've never read the original text that book was based off of, but it was supposed to be a story of someone who was made out to be a villain in the original mythology and their actual reasoning behind all of their decisions, which I absolutely loved. I thought that it was fantastically written. It was really interesting. It was a heartbreaking story, but just so fascinating. And this book, it says it's a powerful and deeply moving reimagining of the story of Ganga. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. The Goddess of the River and her mortal son. This is a masterful tale of duty, destiny, and the unwavering bond between a mother and child. And I don't know, so it's just, it gripped me because of the fact that it's written by the same author that I've once loved. I also have plans for this book in an event that's coming up in upcoming months that I can't talk about yet. The last book in this haul is the smallest book, but it packs a big punch, and that is the Dallergut Dream Department Store. Look how little this book is. It's so cute. I love it. It took me forever to find, but I love it. I recently read this and I just can't get it out of my head, so I had to have a copy. I look forward to rereading this and reliving in this little world. If you haven't heard of this, this follows our main character, Penny, who her dream has always been to work at the Dallergut Dream Department Store, where they sell dreams. So, and she gets hired. So you get to follow her process, her training process, her learning about the store, her learning about its history, and being in the mix of all of these really infamous people in history. So the Dream Department Store is a place where people go when they are sleeping to buy dreams. And so there are all these different types of dreams that you get to discuss in the book. There are different characters that work in the department store who have different jobs. There are different levels of the department store that sell different types of dreams. You have naps, you have romantic dreams, you have dreams where you're meeting famous people, they'll even have like clearance dreams that are black and white. And it was a really, really fun time, a really cozy time, and also really meaningfully written. I love the fact there's one particular type of dream that we cover. Well, there's actually quite a few really, but there was one that was really impactful to me that I won't say here, but that the author goes into, and like I said, for a lot of the dreams that are mentioned, the author goes into the purpose of the dreams for people and the fact that sleep is really important and dreams can also be really important for people. It was a dream. I absolutely love it. I think that it's a fantastic book and I hope more people read it. At the end of every haul video, I do like to double check just to see how many of the books I've hauled have I read and how many have I not read. And I have read 5 of the 8 that I have told you guys about. And so I am excited that I've read 5 of the 8. And of the 3 that I haven't read, these 2 are for series. So I don't really feel bad about the 2 series purchases because I know I will get to them eventually. So it's not like they're books that are complete, you know, chaos guesses on whether or not I'm going to enjoy them, because I have enjoyed these series in general. So the only purchase, and I'm not mad about it, I'm not sad that I purchased the book by any means, but the only purchase that's a little bit of a risk is The Goddess of the River, and I still feel very confident with that purchase because of the fact that I've loved the author in the past. So I am happy with these 8 new additions to my collection, and yeah, I'm happy to share them with you guys. So have you added any books that you're really excited about to your collection recently? Have you read them or have you not read them yet? I would love to know in the comments down below. If you are not feeling chatty today, you can just leave me a little stack of books to let me know that you are here. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you have a lovely evening and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.